They were not looking for a serial killer. They were looking for one missing woman. What they found instead was 4 bodies. Then more, and more, along the same stretch of road, on the same coastline. Some had names, some did not. Some still don't. It begins with a phone call.
911 system, how can I assist you?
May 1st, 2010. Shortly after midnight, a 23-year-old woman named Shannon Gilbert dials 911 from a house in Oak Beach, a small gated community on Long Island's southern shore. She is terrified. She tells the dispatcher someone is trying to kill her. The call lasts 23 minutes.
Please, there's somebody after me.
By the time police arrive, Shannon Gilbert is gone. She had been working as an escort. She had come to Oak Beach to meet a client. Something happened inside that house. Something that caused her to run into the dark, knock on a stranger's doors, and beg for help. What exactly happened has never been established. She ran. She called for help, and then she disappeared into the marsh. Police searched the area. They never found Shannon Gilbert. But what they did find changed everything. December 11th, 2010. A police K-9 unit searching the brush along Ocean Parkway finds human remains. Within days, 3 more sets are discovered, all within 500 feet of each other, on the same side of the same road. 4 women, all found in thick brush, less than 30 feet from the highway, all naked, all bound, 3 wrapped in burlap. This was no longer a missing persons case. Before they were case numbers, they were people. Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 25. Melissa Bartholomew, 24. Megan Waterman, 22. Amber Lynn Costello, 27. They became known as the Gilgo 4. All 4 were petite, all white, all under 5'5". All had been working as escorts, advertising on Craigslist. Each had connected with a client through a burner phone, discarded shortly after they disappeared. Investigators began to see it. A method, a system. This didn't appear to be random. There was a pattern. These were their lives. Many of them were working as escorts, advertising online, often alone, often without protection. Maureen Brainerd Barnes, 25. She lived in Norwich, Connecticut, a mother of 2. On July 9th, 2007, she told a friend she had an appointment in Manhattan. She took a train to Grand Central. She never came home. Her family reported her missing 5 days later. Melissa Bartholomew, 24. She lived in the Bronx. On the night she disappeared, she told a friend she was meeting someone. She said she would be back by morning. She wasn't. After she vanished, someone used her phone to call her younger sister. Her sister was 15 years old. The caller taunted her. Megan Waterman, 22, from Scarborough, Maine, a mother. Security footage captured her leaving a Holiday Inn in Hopewell, Long Island, on June 6th, 2010. That was the last confirmed sighting. Amber Lynn Costello, 27. She lived in West Babylon, Long Island, 4 feet 11 inches tall. She disappeared in the autumn of 2010. 4 women. The same road. The same pattern. But they were not the only ones. For a while, it seemed like it ended there. It didn't. From a different time, a different decade. Sandra Costilla, 28. From Trinidad and Tobago, living in New York City. She was killed in 1993, 17 years before the Gilgo 4 were found. Her remains were discovered in a wooded area in North Sea, Long Island. Her case remained unresolved for decades. Jessica Taylor, 20. She was living in Manhattan when she disappeared in July 2003. Her remains were found in 2 separate locations, years apart. Part in Manorville, part along Ocean Parkway. Her tattoo had been altered, likely in an attempt to prevent identification. It didn't work. Valerie Mack, 24. A mother from Philadelphia. Last seen in the spring of 2000. Her remains were also found in 2 locations, Manorville and Gilgo Beach, years apart. For 2 decades, she was known only as Jane Doe Number 6. She was identified in 2020. Karen Vergata, 27. Last seen in February 1996. She was never reported missing. Her remains were found on Fire Island in 1996. More remains were found at Tobay Beach in 2011. She was identified in 2023. Some of them were not reported missing immediately. Some were never reported missing at all. Tanya Jackson, 26. A U.S. Army veteran living in Brooklyn. She disappeared in 1997. She was not alone. Her 2-year-old daughter, Tatiana Dykes, disappeared with her. Their remains were found years apart in different locations across Long Island. Neither had ever been reported missing. No one knew they were gone. Both were identified in April 2025, 28 years after they vanished. 10 people found along the same stretch of coastline across 3 decades. And the question investigators kept returning to was whether any of this was connected. Some of it was. Some of it wasn't. And one victim still has no name. Among the remains found in 2011, one victim has still not been identified. Found April 4th, 2011. Ocean Parkway. Believed to be biologically male and found wearing women's clothing. Estimated age, 17 to 23. Of Southern Chinese descent. Died from blunt force trauma. Dead for an estimated 5 to 10 years before discovery. In 2024, authorities released 2 forensic reconstructions. One male presenting, one female presenting. Because it is not known how this person identified at the time of their death. No family has come forward. No missing report has ever been matched. As of today, no name. This kind of case is not unique. The Somerton man, found dead on a beach in Adelaide, Australia in 1948. No identification, no confirmed cause of death. A scrap of paper in his pocket. 2 words in a dead language. The Isdal woman, found in a valley in Norway in 1970. 8 false identities. Labels removed from her clothing. No confirmed name to this day. Like those cases, Asian Doe remains a question without an answer. For over a decade, the investigation stalled. The case faced serious institutional problems. Suffolk County's police leadership at the time was later convicted in an unrelated case. Federal involvement had been blocked for years. The case went cold. Then, in 2022, a new task force was formed. They identified a suspect, placed him under surveillance. For 13 years, nothing. Then one mistake. A discarded pizza box. The DNA on the pizza crust matched DNA found on one of the victims. July 13th, 2023. 13 years after the first bodies were found. Rex Hoyerman, a 62-year-old architect from Massapequa Park, was arrested. He had lived less than a 25-minute drive from where the bodies were found. He maintained his innocence for nearly 3 years. Then, on April 8th, 2026, he admitted everything. In a Suffolk County courtroom, Hoyerman confirmed he strangled 8 women over a 17-year period. He admitted to dismembering some of them. He admitted to leaving their remains along the same stretch of highway. He was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The case, officially, is closed. 10 sets of remains were found along Ocean Parkway. All have names now, except one. Maureen, Melissa, Megan, Amber, Jessica, Valerie, Sandra, Karen, Tanya, Tatiana. One still does not. Shannon Gilbert, whose disappearance began this search, was found separately 9 miles away. Her death was ruled accidental. Hoyerman denied any connection to her. Her family has never accepted that conclusion. On April 8th, 2026, Rex Hoyerman stood in a courtroom and said guilty. 8 times. For the families of those women, it was not an ending. It was the closest thing to one they were ever going to get. But one question remains open. Asian Doe, Hoyerman denied any connection to this victim. No name, no family, no answer. As of today, that case remains unsolved. The Somerton man, the Isdal woman, both documented on this channel, links in the description.